last bit of news that we have before we're going to get into the viewer questions. Let's see here. So yeah, it did actually happen. SunPayus and valde. So valde has found a home at long last, after living on the bench for a few months now, just not really getting into the game on OG. He has finally found a home in ENCE, and SunPayus as well. And again, credit where credit's due, because it's funny that we're talking about ENCE immediately after talking about Lurpus, because Lurpus used to have a hand in ENCE.
Still has some equity as far as I know.
Still has some, yeah. Well, I mean, dude, they're just so shrewd. This is such a great play on ENCE's side of things to replace some talents on it without breaking the bank. You can think like they're gonna be paid reasonably well, but like SunPayus isn't a player that you're gonna have to break the bank over. He's coming off of Movie Star Riders. It's gonna be his first crack. He's gonna be happy with any salary. He lives in Spain, so again, you pay him a halfway decent salary, he's gonna be happy. He's gonna be way above the average salary in Spain, and that just gets him started. So again, super sharp on that side. And then valde, sure, he's got a bit more experience. You're gonna pay him a bit more, but again, it's a golden opportunity here for ENCE to get some experienced firepower in, and to develop a potential star in SunPayus with some more experience. And Snappy gets these guys to fit into his system. Everybody is happy. But again, it just makes I have always got to tip my hat to ENCE. They always make the shrewd plays. They always make the smart plays. I'm just so impressed with this organization. And Snappy did an interview recently where he was essentially just saying, it's like he has a large hand in it. Him and
Saw just decide the players, basically. They're just being empowered by the org, right?
Yeah, they're the ones who are out there hunting the talent down, and then they give credit to the org and saying like, listen, we provide the short list, and the org does the best they can to get him for us, and they've had a few things fall through, but he's happy with this roster and he thinks it's a good thing. I mean, I look at this and I'm like, yeah, this is solid. This is a roster that with a little bit of tweaking and some more experience for SunPayus could do some damage, could be really positive. So like, what's your takeaway on this ENCE move?
Yeah, first of all, let's address the topic you said there. That's the biggest story of it all, is that the reason why this team has been made so well and then has been improved in the way it's been improved, like they brought in the Madden guy, and now they've made the right move to replace Hades with a better AWPer, and also they've managed to bring in a good star potential support rifler to make up for some of the things that... The reason they've done all these moves is because, as you say, they empowered the coach and the IGL. So that means the coach and IGL were able to get what they want. You didn't just go, right, I can get you this player here, make it work. Because remember, every fan thinks you want the player when you get signed. You don't know that maybe all the players you want were on the shortlist didn't get signed. Maybe they were too expensive. Then what they do is it's like one of those jokes, isn't it? I want fucking valde. We have valde at home and they have some shit player from Tricked or something, that's the normal scenario with most orgs. It's why in Flashpoint I kept saying I had tons of teams where the team wanted the player, but the org wouldn't sign him. They were like, well, why would I sign this guy? Oh, I need a visa for him or whatever. So basically on the actual move itself, I think it's a banger move all around. Think about these two angles. Valde's already worked with Snappy at the beginning of his career, and Snappy's a better caller than he was back then. So him and valde are going to be right on the same page. They have a similar mindset. Secondly, people are thinking valde is joining this team just to be like he was in OG and North. He's going to be a really good supportive element. He doesn't have to be. He chose to do that. He chose Zipnix and MBK to become a supportive element so that he could be around better players like Config and KGB and make them win. If he wants to, this guy can go back to being a star rifler anytime he wants. He's a guy who puts in mad hours, really good mindset, good skills, good game sense. But if he wants to be the supportive element, by the way, he's overpowered for that. He's overskilled. That's why he can put up really good numbers. So I think if you want him to be a bomb site anchor and just play that on this team, he could be amazing. So the key thing for me is this: you've upgraded the AWPer. SunPayus is a better AWPer than Hades. It's more also, to me, this is the key detail. If you're asking raw ability, they're probably similar level. The reason I consider SunPayus a better one, though, and the reason I think Snappy's going to love him, is because he's, like I said, he is like a device AWPer. He's the one who just takes the spot and hits all the normal shots. He doesn't. Hades was the ultimate. He was like the flick AWPer. He was the guy constantly peeking the angle and taking all crazy shots. The problem with that is unless you hit all the shots, you just lose the game, mate. Eventually that doesn't work. It's not a great strategy. If you have a player like Device or SunPayus, then coach and IGL's dream. They go where you want them to. They stand where you want. They take the corner, the shot they want. You even know based on whether they shoot and kill the guy, if there's a guy there, if they're locked, if you have to come, you know everything because they just do exactly what you want. So I think this is going to be amazing for Snappy, because obviously the problem is you couldn't replace Spinks. Spinks was way too good. That's why he was always going to be leaving this team. But I tell you what, you've re-upped with a really solid other rifle, and now you got a slight upgrade at AWP. This can work. Remember, they had second at Dallas without fucking Spinks at all when they had the snacks standing, and obviously they were apparently trying to get snacks as well, but that just didn't happen. So I think all in all, this is amazing, zigzagging, moving in the right timing. And finally, for SunPayus, that's the one other angle I'd mention here. You might think, oh, that sucks. He just had that great result with Movistar Riders. He was looking good. That's exactly why he had to take this deal, because this deal will never be here again in this way. Like in the future, yes, he could have maybe gone to like an ENCE if they're a small org like they were a couple of years ago, or they're a tier 3 team. He could probably go. You know what? Maybe Mopos can go and join some like tier 2 international squad. But the problem is, you'll never get an offer like this to join a team as good as ENCE is now, with the potential to be as good. Like they can be a top 5 team in the world if he joins and does well. So if you're SunPayus, you had to take. I think everyone all around's killed it on this deal. Like you had no choice in the Spinks one, but once you've set that in place, you've done a great set of decisions all across the board. I think this will be a good team.
I think so too. I think this is going to be a really solid mid-pack team that could spike up given enough time and experience. If they can gel together, I think you're bang on the money in terms of what SunPayus brings to the table. I think Valde's reliable, Madden and Diha solid, and Snappy's clearly got improved as an IGL and as a game plan. I mean,
by the way, I actually have the first part of a Valde Reflections on my YouTube channel.
That's right. You beat me to it. But yeah, that just came out as well, and definitely worth a listen. So Valde's over there on Thorin's YouTube channel.
There's even a part, by the way, which is going to shock people, because I myself was shocked he said this. I just asked because I did an open-ended question. If people don't know, when Valde hadn't actually been in North very long, I think something like his second LAN was the infamous DreamHack Montreal with the KNG, like prove it all, kill you, like going after FNS. So all I say basically is if you were at that LAN, I've got to ask for stories. And dude, the stories he tells, if you go back on By the Numbers, confirm all the speculation that we said at the time and all the rumours. As in, like, they did all turn up late to that match and they lied and they were way too late. Then KNG was actually actively, physically trying to hunt FNS down in the hotel. Like, what's mad is Valde tells these thinking like, oh, the limitations is I was even thinking when he was saying that, like, I'm sure the limitations are passed now. It's like, are you familiar with Brazilian fans? But you know what? Let it be on your head, bro. It's not me saying that shit. So listen, it's brave that he came out with that, because it was cool that he had sort of corroborated the stories, but I certainly hope nothing happens to Valde. Yeah.
The days will give a fuck a lot of the time, they're just like, let it go. But that's really interesting that he actually corroborates on all of that and gives it's nice to have that window into behind the scenes to get a little bit of that information. Eventually it comes out, the truth comes through. So that's sick. Really happy to hear. Definitely go and check that out, guys. Well worth it. But this may be a good time to start moving into some of our...
the thing I love? I'll tell you the thing I love and hate the most about CS is that we can't win, mate. Like, I could literally be going like, guys, here's some like secret info no one knows. And then they'd go, yeah, but there's a rumor that people do know, though, that's different from that and not as good. So which is true? It's like, well, listen to me, I'm telling you, like, I know actually what's going on. Yeah, but I heard you can't beat that, mate. If someone's just like, I heard reply guy, then it's never going to end, is it? So go on, hit me with the next topic. What is it? Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.